Welcome back to Think Newly, everybody. This is a fun day. As you guys know, I've been reading this book, Mere Christianity. It is phenomenal. I will drop the link in the description again. I highly suggest you pick it up. So, um, today I was reading through and I found something that I totally knew, but that at the same time was just it was a modification of a principle that I had previously learned. So we're going to go through the story that I had previously learned, and then we're going to go through C.S. Lewis's interpretation of it, which I happen to like a lot more. And it's just barely different, but it's so much more correct and falls in line with so many other things that I've learned, and it just brought two principles together, and I love it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through the first one. This story is commonly attributed to the childhood of Albert Einstein, although I'm not entirely sure if that's actually true. So it's said that he was going to we'll say a Christian school, and or was it a Christian school? I don't remember. Anyway, one of the teachers was not Christian. Albert Einstein was his entire life. He was very believing in God. If you go and read his biography, there's all kinds of stuff about it. It's fascinating. Anyway, and so the teacher brought up in class, okay, did God create the universe? And he says yes. God did create the universe. And they say, did God create everything in the universe? And he says, yes, God created everything in the universe, which is totally fair. And as a Christian, typically that's what people believe. And so the teacher says, then God created evil. And Albert says, well, no, he didn't. And the teacher says, well, but you just said he created everything in the universe. And so Albert Einstein, or whoever the student was, and it may just be a story, asks the teacher, is there a such thing as cold? And the teacher says, well, of course there's a such thing as cold. Have you been cold in your life? And the student goes, yes. But if we look at it from a scientific point of view, cold is simply the absence of heat, right? It's the absence of thermal energy. And so the teacher says, okay, that's fair, accepted, a little technical, but fair. So then the student says, okay, is there a such thing as darkness? And the teacher says, well, of course there's such thing as darkness. I mean, if you turn off the lights, you're not going to be able to see anything. And he says, yes, but that's because of an absence of light. So he's discussing an absence of positives creating negatives, right? And so then he asks the teacher, so then, therefore, is there really a such thing as evil? And the teacher says, well, it's pretty apparent in the world today, especially at that time when he's growing up, that there is a such thing as evil. And he says, but there's not, though. Because evil is simply the absence of good. And I have to completely agree with that. That's absolutely true. Evil is the absence of good. Now, the caveat or modification, rather, that C.S. Lewis makes to this is profound and simple. He says not that evil is the absence of good, but rather the modification and corruption of good. And I love this. Let me see if I can find the line real quick where he really says this. He says, okay, here we go. I'm just going to read through this little section here. But in real life, people are cruel for one of two reasons. Either because they're sadists, that is, because they have a sexual perversion which makes them cruelty a cause of sensual pleasure to them, or else, for the sake of something they're going to get out of it, money or power or safety. But pleasure, money, power, and safety are all, as far as they go, good things. This is totally true. The badness consists in pursuing them by the wrong method or in the wrong way or too much. I do not mean, of course, that people who do this are not desperately wicked. I do mean that wickedness, when you examine it, turns out to be the pursuit of something good in the wrong way. So oh, actually, there's one more sentence in there that I would like to read. It says, you can be good for the mere sake of goodness. You cannot be bad for the mere sake of badness, which I think is fascinating. Because if you want to be good, typically people are good for a couple different reasons. Either they're seeking after something good, one of those things, pleasure, money, power, blah, blah, blah. And those aren't bad things inherently. And if anybody wants to drop in the comments that money is the root of all evil, money's not evil, though. Money gets people to be greedy. That's different. Anyway, so, and there's a lot of post-scriptural commentary concerning that, and a lot of discussion, and it's great. Anyway, so I think with evil, though, with bad things, you're never seeking to do something bad to someone. You're seeking power, sure. You're seeking pleasure in the wrong way, sure. You're seeking money in the wrong way, sure. But you're never intentionally looking to hurt someone. And if you are, it's probably because you're seeking power. You're not doing it to be miserable. It's weird. Does that make sense? You know, and if you are some sort of messed up sadist, then you're still doing it because you want to gain pleasure out of it, which is messed up on pretty much every level possible. However, you personally are still looking for something good. So I thought that was fascinating. And I think it usually runs that way, is that bad things tend to be corruptions of good things. We can talk about this more in the future. I think it's super fascinating. But I really liked this concept. I'll drop a link for the book in the description. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please go down and hit subscribe, share it with your friends. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely marvelous day. And I'll leave you with that. See you guys. Bye.